Now, when I tell you that this was one of the greatest get backs in anime history, this is one of the greatest get backs in history. What Jotaro did to Steely Dan was a thing of beauty, and it couldn't have happened to a more deserving character. The things this man did was flat out disrespectful and would have gotten him put on a t-shirt with the quickness. Steely starts things off by clapping Lady Inyaba.
She kinda bad,
But
though.
before she dies, Joseph tries to get her to start snitching like First 48 and tell them the secret of Dio's stand. But he made the fatal mistake of not offering something to eat first.
Stupid.
Then she wasted her dying breath saying that Dio trusts her and she would never flip on him. Like, clearly that's not the case. Otherwise, he wouldn't have pulled the all for one and had a backup plan just in case you started singing like Usher. Jotaro walks up to him and tells him, you can sit there all you like for the rest of the episode. We still gonna jump you. Steely Dan told the Stardust Crusaders that none of y'all gonna touch me because
Ooh, that brother's floating in the air.
Jotaro learned from Eren Yeager and Android 17 to stop the power-up monologue and sent his ass flying into the building. But Joseph went flying as well. Steely's like, bro, don't you watch anime? You know I gotta explain the power-up first. But Jotaro's like, okay, what they got to do with me? I just came here to beat niggas up. Steely Dan's power basically is whatever you do to me happens to someone else. With a stand like that, it makes you wonder, if he was in jail and got bent over, would...
Hey yo, what the?
You know what? Ignore that thought. Let's move on.
You know what he said?
So now the crew has to find a way to save Joseph without killing him. But we all know Jotaro has a temper and would much rather beat this nigga up and turn him into a pack and finish the story like Cody Rhodes. Which won't happen at WrestleMania 40. Spoiler alert. But for now, he's gonna play it cool. Steely Dan wasted no time trying to piss off Jotaro. And Jotaro grabbed him by his collar and was like, look man, you obviously don't know the name of this show. The show is called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Keyword, JoJo. So you need to chill out before I start letting manga spoilers fly. He was like, my fault, OG. And proceeds to beat this man with a rock. Like, aight bruh, I know you're in control, but I know deep down inside your conscience had to be telling you something that maybe you shouldn't act so crazy to this teenager, just in case. Steely Dan steals all of Jotaro's money and is like, let's go shopping. They come across a ditch and he tells Jotaro to make himself into a bridge, otherwise he's gonna have his granddad's leg looking like an MMA fighter after they get knocked out. Now the messed up part about this situation is that there's literally a bridge right next to them as they're talking, that they can literally just walk on. That just shows you how flat out disrespectful this man Steely Dan is. Like, you do all of this and you just want to piss him off even more. Then Jotaro makes the bridge, and then this man proceeds to start jumping and dancing on Jotaro's back like he was a backup dancer. This literally would have broken the camel's back. Steely Dan had the nerve to be smiling like he was a kid getting candy, and all you can see is Jotaro mean mugging him like, I'm pretty sure Jotaro's thought of 1,000 ways to murk this nigga. But the punishment didn't stop there, because this man channeled his early 1940s and 50s by having Jotaro scratch his back and shine his shoes. This man had him doing slave labor. This man had him looking like a black man in the 40s and the 50s. At this point, he's just begging to get sent to the Shadow Realm. Jotaro's like, alright man, I'm working for no pay. I might as well take my lunch break and gets to writing in his little black book. Steely Dan snatches it and asks him, what the hell are you writing? Jotaro says, it's just a list of all the things you made me do. I've beaten people up for less, so I gotta make sure you get the right beating. Like I said, at this point, your brain should be warning you to stop pushing him. But I guess his pride wouldn't let him accept it, so he backhands Jotaro like a pimp asking for his money and tells him to get back to work. They end up in a jewelry store and Steely Dan tells him to steal a bracelet. Jotaro steals it, and the first thing this nigga does is get to snitching, telling the storekeeper that Jotaro is stealing and he has his security team beat him up for it. The guy hits Jotaro in the back of the head with a bat. And I'm like, damn, bruh, what you need a bat for? It's literally 3v1. It's like getting jumped by 5 people and one of them pulls out a gun for literally no reason. While Jotaro is getting beaten, Steely Dan is stealing a gold necklace. Afterwards, these dudes get to talking grizzly, saying, get out of our country, and straight up spit on Jotaro. Like, bruh, I'm already building a Rico case on this nigga Steely Dan. Don't make me add you to the list as well. Steely Dan gets pissed off because Jotaro is laughing and asks him how can you be smiling after getting stomped out and spat on. Jotaro tells him, hey man, I hate to break the news to you, but you got about 10 minutes left until this episode ends, which is like 30 seconds in anime time. So you better hurry up before the plot armor kicks in. Steely Dan's stand gets attacked by Kakion, and a big gush of blood spills out of his head.
It was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
Now this is where the fun begins. Steely Dan starts running like he was a white girl in a horror movie, but Jotaro grabs him and is like, hold up, you still need your receipt after making all these outstanding purchases. He gets on his knees and starts begging Jotaro not to give him that work.
You gonna get this work, nigga?
Even going to the point of licking his shoes. Like, Jesus, have some respect for yourself, bro. Like, even if you are faking it, at least don't stoop to licking someone up like a lollipop, bro. Steely Dan thinks the Lovers is about to give Jotaro an ear job, but Star Platinum is like, nigga, not even his girl is allowed to give him ear jobs. What makes you think I'm allowing you to do it? Star Platinum squeezes his stand, but doesn't kill him because that would be too easy for him. But he does break all of his bones so that he can't run. Jotaro tells him that he obviously didn't do his Googles because if he did, he would have known that I'm built different and always get my lick back. Jotaro lets him go and says, if I see you in part 4, I'm gonna do more than break your arm and leg. But Danny Boy gets pissed off because he realized Jotaro just gave away a manga spoiler and threatens to kill a little kid and says, you wouldn't let a little kid die, would you? And Jotaro looks at him and says, nigga, this is anime. Kids get lit up every day, B. Steely Dan realizes he can't make a move, and that's simply because of the GOAT Kakion ties his stand to the Lover's leg so that he can't pull any slick shit just in case. Jotaro tells him that you can tell me the secret to Dio stand, you can give me $1 million, you can cure every disease in the world, hell, you can give me one night with Megan Thee Stallion. You still not escaping this beatdown you're about to get.
Let us pray the pimp's prayer. Lord, please pray for the soul of this bitch and guide my pimp hand and make it strong, Lord, so that she might learn a hoe's place. Amen.
And Jotaro proceeds to give this man the most brutal ultra combo in anime history. I'm 100% sure that this nigga is dead and you can't tell me otherwise. His face the whole time during the beating was like, how the hell did I end up in this situation? I should be on the beach somewhere surrounded by baddies, but here I am getting my ass beat by a pissed off teenager with an OP stand. Not only did he brutally beat this man like Django did the Brittle Brothers, but mid-combo he had to make sure to get a better angle of the beating, which was totally disrespectful, and finished him with a punch so hard that he sent this man flying through a building. Anime or not, you know how hard you gotta hit a nigga to send him flying in the air and through a brick building? Then Jotaro writes his receipt and walks off like a boss. Shit like this is why I love Jotaro and why Stardust Crusaders is my personal favorite of the JoJo series. Like, no matter what you do or what you say, you could be on the brink of victory, but none of that means shit when Jotaro's on the scene because he will find a way to beat the shit out of you and look badass while doing it. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to drop a comment and leave a like, and also hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed the video.